all over the U.S. and Europe creating Sharia zones and buying up apartment buildings saying Muslim only. Have you seen this?
No, I've not seen that. I know that they are trying to establish Sharia law areas in England. I've even seen images of the Sharia police going around the streets on horseback, checking women for not dressing appropriately, even though it's the native population. Sorry, things are done differently here. Stuff shit.
A few months ago, my wife was at HEB at night, and a Muslim runs up in a whole nightgown outfit and says, "What are you doing out at night? You should be with a man. Oh, they can rape you or alone."
It's done.
She jumped the car. Like,
it's ready.
That's how bad they've gotten.
I can make coffee.
Screaming at women.
Yeah, I think it's just barely hot enough where it doesn't burn you right away, but you don't want to do longer than like 2 seconds. Maybe that's not hot enough. Okay, let's see.
I know they're not. They're here for religious domination. Ask them, they tell you. They tell you that that's why they're here. Like, they're here for religious domination. Not like, it doesn't say in the Quran.
That's why they're here.
That's not what it says. That's not what it says. I mean, there's a reason that about 95% of all suicide bombings over the last 40 years have all been done by Muslim terrorists, right? Because the reason they do such a high amount is no one's as fanatical as them when it comes to the religion. Absolutely, utterly dogmatized, and they don't care about what horrific crimes they have to commit in the process to bring about the ultimate goal, which is to have Islam be the dominant global religion.
Yes, our constitution is for moral people only. We have to get them out.
I get it. The left's even worse. They're acting like, "Oh, you were always wrong. No, Trump was good before. I've been criticized. I get demonized by him." But he says Mark Levin's a spirit animal, and Mark Levin was never Trumper. Could Trump be saved and be woken up, or where do you see this going?
I think it can be, but it's just that I don't know why his second terms felt very different from his first term. His first term was fun. This second term, I don't know. I think it's what's saying done.
My people perish for lack of knowledge. That's what the Bible tells us. Another way to say it is, those that don't know history are doomed to repeat it. God has given us compounds in nature that aren't just important.
This thing's empty. I shouldn't have this nearby, I guess, right?
In the food you need that are essential. Well, iodine is one of the essential nutrients.
It's not even warming it at all.
So, now I have a new CIA declassified document I'm going to hit here in just a moment. But first, I want to show you this.
This is empty anyway.
UN study: 2 billion people suffer from vitamin and mineral deficiencies, particularly iodine.
That's why I'm doing wood right now.
Number one cause of cognitive disabilities in the world today. Here's another one. Salt smarts. Now, iodine has increased America's IQs. Starting in the 20s, we had super low IQs like iodine. They put it in 15, 20 point increase. My point is, this is a known fact. It just got declassified 2 weeks ago. CIA Operation Arctic in the by the Big Foundation to dumb down the American people. But we're going to put poisons in the food, the water, and the vaccines to dumb them down to make them man, absolutely incredible. So right, I am taking a few drops of our new T3 out of the next 2 pure atomic iodine and mixed it with our medical grade method. The effects of the CIA. This fluoride calcifies cells where they sat on the body is a liquid crystal. This transmitting and receiving a transceiver. And what I do is iodine, methylene blue, they act in different ways. So this is information the bad guys not need to know. Also, in the CIA document, they admit that most cancer is microscopic.
It just is a shootout. Shootout. That's what it says. The word out. Scar tissue of worms. They've kept people's body parts off from worm scar tissue. And they could have just given them dewormer. Set it right on there, right? Or will that end up putting it out? Hoping it'll tame it. And yeah, keeping it at medium heat and transfer all the heat to the water. The water's in the bottom. There's a little bit here. And I was spraying in here to keep it cool because I don't want to just heat up metal. But yeah, it's dying down. So let it pick back up. And sometimes you have to lift it up a little bit. Watch this. It's just about putting the air back in there. That's professional. Now, instead of pressing it all the way in there, I'm just gonna put it up to it. Instead of tilting it in onto the wood, I'm putting it next to the wood. But it is touching the flame. I'm gonna stop holding this phone. Maybe just a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
Actual lines. All the groups I tried all on dinner. No. All no.
I'm holding 5G. I put the phone up in a stand.
But Count Dankula 10 years ago arrested me for making girlfriend's dog Heil Hitler.
Oh.
Juice. Mom has to do something. Stand to get home. Do I got to?
He reacted to that. The fun.
Gas the juice.
Look, you can hear this. Listen. I don't need it. Oh, I rock.
Every single person who's sent to jail for like why are you doing all this? Is making you look bad. Really, really fun. You smart guy. I'm curious. What you're telling you already happened? What's gonna happen? I don't think the war. I do think the government and they get close to that, but then the government's going to pan some of it and back off. I think things are starting to turn down. And so they know making super extreme grab what they can when they back off, but still they've gotten more. So it's an inchworm effect. Yeah. So basically, push the laws far enough until people protest, and then just back off a little bit. You're already getting tons of ground, and everybody thinks they've had a little win when they haven't. Put all the cap down and then repeat the process over and over again. And start reversing that. That's the problem. The problem is the system itself is corrupt. You're voting in a corrupt system. Britain parties came out as a council reform and Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage. Yeah. Caused the migrant crisis and allowed things to get this bad over the last 15 years. To be the answer to that. And instead, what they're doing is they're adopting the exact same policy. Very same from the Tory party.
Double flagged and Bibled.
Like flipped about what 7-8 years ago. Like he claimed he is the Boris Johnson traitor, but no, he was the guy behind. He is Boris Johnson. Yeah, I know my father.
Turns out there were more slaves under the U.S. flag than the Confederate flag.
Well, yeah,
and I most definitely need to get a Confederate flag as well and rep both. And the Don't Tread on Me and the George Washington tree. Pine tree. So, yeah, I think the North was actually captured by the British East India Company. And our country was psyoped into fighting itself. It wasn't about slavery. The North had more slaves than the South did. They ended theirs first. They quote unquote ended slavery in the North. Just a hair before the South would have. You know what I mean? If everything else was fair, but no. It was definitely about our entire country being enslaved. Now we're all enslaved since the North won. I think we were all going to be free if the South had won.
That is why he had such a massive problem because Liverpool was saying the things that everybody wants to hear and Nigel Farage is too afraid to say. So people start hearing so Liverpool started getting a little bit top 10 like giant with Paul Watson and all that. Oh, get in. They have our support from you. And I had dinner with Roger Stone and the RNC. All the record former New York police commissioner was with us. And the stuff he was behind the scenes, he's totally different. That guy is like, he is a cold-blooded operative.
Yeah, and he for himself. I used to like the guy used to respect him, but he can't blow out of the phone because he's so when he's stealing stuff because that's what happened to him with General Patton. He was like, no, I'm not having my party crash the game, so I'm just going to kick the guy out this time. And all that's done is to create the Restore Britain party, who an enormous amount of votes away from apologetic. She someone asked Nigel Farage on that like a difficult question. Dance around the subject with that and give that a direct answer when everyone's like that. I don't care. Right, that's what that's what you're what are we supposed to be? Oh yeah, I've seen pictures of France recently that is unrecognizable. Unrecognizable. It's just like how Travis is far as the eye. Right? I'm like tens of thousands of they were a slicker throat like yeah. The law said we don't want to be white. We don't want to be Spanish. And the Africans invade. That's industrial. I also say ultimately silent specific reason so that and
They're giving faggots the most access to entry.
Or as trans. The big fan of whole fake like festivals for migrant customers about the festival and that is proof to the Home Office as to why they should be allowed to remain in Britain and the right to stay right away from kids. So home businesses they offer this as a service. They actually offer it as a service like come to a game bar, pictures of you in the game bar. We even hire this guy who's going to pose as your boyfriend. They offer it as a service. It comes like as a package. And I'm right to stay um, how do they get parents their school office and say, I'm waiting, baby, come from Africa, come from and retarded level. That's why they're going, I'm doing such a good thing, it'll be such great. Oh, wait till I tweet this out. Imagine the social clout that I'm going to get. Everyone's going to think I'm such a good person. That's why I hate I despise these people because they don't give a genuinely do not care about the industrialized rate of day of young girls up and down the country. They're very happy. Well, advertising enough, but also, God, Ireland. They're finally standing up at mine. They're like putting Africans in English or as leaders. One in five people currently in Ireland with no phone. One in five people in Ireland with no phone. What happened to the Irish? The Irish I mean, that's the bad. Come on, here you are. I don't I died for a free island, or an influence. Or right good over religion, and now just bring it all our military men, they never get I see the fucking rape, murdering, let them out. It's insane asylum. That's like, I didn't see it, I'm spent a new rape every other day. Like, constant. And like I said as well, we have to pass that migrant hotel because they're out harassing women all the time. And that's when you're there, you give them a bit of a dirty look in the back of. But women, don't have the luxury of having a man beside them all the time. Like, they get dragged down an alleyway. Actually, I forget what it was, but it was somewhere in Britain where about migrants from the hotel coming down to school and leaving through the fence, like looking at them. Like 8-year-olds. Yeah. And then they escape. They arrest the dads. Asked to see whatever the hell about that guy. But obviously it's not working out. Like this is hand. That's what that's I guess
A fucking sand nigger raped her and she wasn't even able to say so.
That's all.
Oh, it was a chink stink? It was a spook gook? Okay. It was more of a dark yellow instead of a fucking, you know, I don't know. Eastern brown. There you go. It was it dark yellow or Eastern brown? Because West brown around here is when red and white mixes. It's when a European fucks a Native American. You make a motherfucker like me.
France, England, Scotland, Ireland, Germany, wondering
Indian. When I say Indian, I'm talking about American red, baby. Fuck all that other nonsense talk. Calling you motherfuckers dark yellow. Busting all you fucking Indian Muslims. I'm gonna catch all you bitches in your crimes. Hey, that goes for cartel. That goes for Mexican cartel. That goes for the ones that came from the other side of the world, and the ones that came over just from this border. Came from just the next country over. You've been violating so much, and killing so many of us. It's time the whitey fucks and kills back. It's time that propaganda nonsense comes back to bite you motherfuckers. That's a message to the commie whites too. You are not out of the woods, bitch. All those commie whites happy when Israel killed Charlie. Like they had a front row seat. They knew they had a front row seat to the show and shit. And what's the movie production that was basically made out of it when you put everybody's devices together? Who gets to watch the movie? They were waiting for that finale with their front row seat. But who gets to watch the movie? The full-fledged production made with everyone's devices. No. And then beyond that, we need to get our questions answered, even if our response is to kill kikes. And I'm not talking about good Jews. I'm talking about Israeli mafia gangsters. Americans need to make it their mission to eliminate Israel from our country. Eliminate the Israeli influence. That's foreign. That's foreign. You're a traitor, bitch. You wear one of those double flags on your chest. You're a fucking paid foreign traitor, bitch. You're a fucking foreign traitor to our nation. You traded our nation to foreign interests. Ultimately, it's called selling out. America's not for sale. These fully paid off professional actors who get more and more paychecks as they sell us out have to go. We have to take down the entire structure that allows people to run for office in the first place. We all need to run for office. We all need to be able to run for office, even if we don't have the $2,000 and the 5,000 signatures, supposedly, to do so, plus the $20 administration fee locally. And so, what we're talking about here, that's just what I know about locally. But I think those are the U.S. positions. I think those are the U.S. state positions. For governor, for Congress, United States representative for that state. I think those are the requirements to run. But like, my question is, what if you don't want to be a member of a party? I mean, it's like we the algorithms block us from reaching more people because a few people don't like what I'm saying. Yeah, sure, a few people don't like what I'm saying, but a few others do. So why have you slowed me down? Why have you slowed me down? Rumble and YouTube. Why don't you show my stuff to anybody? It's so strange, man. In real America, I'd be able to sue you. We're about to establish real America again. I keep working my way back to you, babe, with a burning love inside. Yeah, I'm working my way back to you, babe. America was taken hostage by British East India. Dun, 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 dun. We're paying every day. Dun, 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 dun. See how you can just slip it in there real quick? I didn't want to just sing somebody else's song.
But they also military service. Imagine the class of 30 legal aliens military. We're saying, what is that? What is that? Yeah, kill. Absolutely classic. Like that. Kebab. This is what I fought for. How do you think? Yeah, very.
And you know what? The evil torture that went into the meat, essentially, is that extra level of Satanism. Never mind the fact they defiled God's beautiful creation before they turned her into food, before they, cooked her, turned her into food, chopped her up, killed her, raped her. I mean, just the fact that they had the desire to rape one of our children is a sin, and they're supposed to repent, personally, and then they can actually still legally be okay. But now we have migrants abducting and raping and killing and chopping up and cooking and eating or serving others. Maybe they don't want to. Maybe they don't consume that bad internet. It could be a satanic ritual to it as well, where they're going to go ahead and feed that to the very people they plucked that little girl from. They're going to feed that tortured and raped and killed and chopped up a little white girl to white people. They're going to feed that tortured and chopped up and raped little white girl. They're actually going to chop her up and cook her and feed her as kebabs to white people. We're going to feed that little girl back to the white people, who was tortured and infused with pain and suffering by them. So, I mean, like, it's time to start killing them. Actually, it's time to start killing any of these migrants that are suspected of doing that shit. That are just not that are just suspected, but that's when it's confirmed. It's like done, boom, kill them. Now I know we say that about a lot of things, a lot of times, but when you work your way up the ladder, it's actually woo, it's almost time to start killing these fully paid off professional actors who are traitors working for foreign interests. We need to hang them by their necks in public when they get into our offices of political power, whether it be governor, Congress, representative, treasury, commissioner, mayor, and hopefully it's not a corrupt sheriff, but basically we are supposed to have these values where we hang traitors in public. That's what it is when you're proven of treason. And the very fact you would wear two countries on your pen and claim to represent me means you're a fucking traitor. If you're wearing an American flag connected to an Israeli flag on your chest, you're a fucking traitor. Because lately I've really been wondering who the fuck killed Charlie Kirk. And Pat Buchanan and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Who killed these guys? Who killed our great heroes? And furthermore, who's controlling them, right? Since we were fully conquered by the British East India Company, after their civil war was successful, slavery was ending anyway, everybody knows it. But they sailed right in and captured our capital, our national capital. And our heroes, the good guys have been getting killed left and right. So it's actually time good guys start doing killing. It's time we kill the killers. And I know that's what many of our servicemen and women do. They're actually good people killing killers. Now, let's hope they wouldn't follow an illegal order someday to attack innocent Americans and our heroes. So that's why the people's militia on the ground in every county is, and connected to the larger, community of counties. You can have groups of counties that have larger stockpiles of military equipment. And this is called following George Washington's mandate of 1790 in the First Congress, where all able-bodied free men have to own firearms and other military equipment, such as tanks, bazookas, bulletproof vests, helmets, boots. I mean, you have to have a suit that you have to have clothing that would be suitable for combat, first of all, right? At least. And so, you can report to the sheriff's station to get armed if need be. But all able-bodied men are in the militia, and they are supposed to already have to own military equipment and firearms. It's not just a right. See, there's some confusion here. It's a right to bear your arms. It's a right for you to draw your fucking gun on somebody. That's what the right says. It's not an amendment. Amendments come after those 10, where commies are trying to chop into them. But and I don't agree with slavery, so maybe a few amendments are necessary over time, and that because that might also fall in line with what Thomas Jefferson says when the government has to be reshaped often. Not the people be subservient to rights stripping from them more and more over and over again. Well, anyway, damn, I was going to get to a broader, poignant point. Does anybody else say that? Yeah, that's right. There's a little confusion here. The Second Amendment doesn't just give people the right to kill each other. It does give you the right to protect yourself and your property, and to protect anybody else. When you have as a Christian, when you have agency from God, you're a peacemaker. You're allowed to be a lawman of God, where you don't fall in. Not only are you not falling into the trap of impersonating
a man-made law police officer. See, it's not about that. You act on what you know is righteous, and so and regardless of how you speak, regardless of the words you choose, you behave and conduct yourself and your life in accordance with our Creator, not with what man has created. So I don't know. There's more there. There's more to that, but the thing is that we all need to protect and defend and serve uh, God, which is who our nation was founded upon, and that's why our country is only for a moral and religious people only. The Constitution. So that doesn't mean foreigners can invade and then not abide by the Constitution, since it doesn't apply to them. No, that means they're not supposed to be here in the first place. We have to get all the anchor babies out because their fucking parents were supposed to be here in the first fucking place. Do you feel me now, baby? Do you feel what the fuck I'm saying and shit? My pussy faggot dyke tranny spick kike sand nigger chink bitch honky cracker nigger globalist goop vampire wetback agency bureau committee commission think tank specialist expert. Do you feel what the fuck I'm saying and shit?
Basically, all these why so much violence? What you're doing, and it's like I can't believe that you're looking at this stuff. Why is everyone so? Why does everybody yell it so much? And it's like because you're monsters. You're also and the stuff that you're doing, and it's all about ego. They just want to touch you. I want to. I don't get. Oh, Wisconsin, Irish, they've been so strong. The Romans could liberal ideology. On purpose, same thing. I think they're getting too cocky, or I don't know if they get off on it, or they're just making this stuff so obvious. And that's like crap. It's bad. It's like just being an absolute degenerate. Woman, so matters. Even though they're not having, they gotta be weird and crazy stuff to like punch that button. Yeah, I think I think I was gonna joke that. I think they want us to kill. I think it's just so. But it's like, I mean, those get to the point of extreme violence in the streets. You know, I'm but I'm not going to do anything to stop it. I'm going to go, you deserve this. You absolutely deserve this because they're absolutely hot. Like, you know, people will masquerade as a good person. And I can, you know, like famous killers always get more records. Yeah. I think it's people have an excuse to have an outlet for their horrible little despicable desires. Like, for example, I go around just beating up everybody, even like old military vets, women, don't really care. Like, if they want to do that, they just be that person that wants to like violence upon the person, all because they're such egotistical narcissists and psychopaths and sociopaths who are so concerned with their image that people will say, finally, go, based on what I'm going to do, somebody invent an excuse. This guy's thinks I'm gonna love that.
They did kill his fucking dad in front of him, didn't they? Study later. He cut the whale's head off and strapped it to his car. So here's the thing. They killed his uncle and his dad right in front of him, right? And so, like, I hope he is going to be able to get more done in office. And nobody's talking about him running for president. What if he decides to run again? The real patriots are, hopefully we get our voices heard, and little old Boobio and Hasidic fat Haji Vance out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
I will tell you this. RFK is a freedom-loving patriot. RFK. See, there's always a spectrum. But you can choose to be, good or bad, right? Well, Dennis Rader, Find, Torture, Kill, when he was a city inspector for a city up here to north of Wichita. As supposedly, he would pick up roadkill with his bare hands. He wouldn't use gloves. He likes to touch it, I guess. Some people always kind of thought that was weird. He does bestiality necrophilia. Bestiality necrophilia. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. He only fucks dead animals.
If you suffer from try this product and see if it makes a difference for you, because there are many causes of lack of energy. One of them can be a lack of cellular energy, pre-methylated supplements like this that can help you. You can go buy a bottle of vitamin that's got cheap
I got
like calcium carbonate, ground up limestone. Alex Jones doesn't use cheap low-end versions of products, and I know this as a nutritionist, as a food scientist. I look at Alex's labels and I'm like, yes, these are the high-end ingredients that I would be using in my own formulations. You may not know that the vitamin B12 that's in that formula, which is methylcobalamin, you may not know this, but that ingredient alone is crazy expensive. I think the last time I looked at the pricing of vitamin B12, it was something like $10,000 per kilogram. I mean, it's insanely expensive. And so the fact that you can get a bottle of this for, what is it, like $22 on the AlexJonesStore.com, it's honestly, it's unbelievable. I don't know how they're able to get prices. They've also got TMG in there. They've got CoQ10 in there. They've got vitamin B6 and so on. Also another form of folate in the same formula. The ultra methylene red, sweetened by stevia. So stevia, which is great, is a natural, sweetener. So really, I'm always impressed with what the Alex Jones store is doing with their product line. So check it out. The AlexJonesStore.com ultra methylene red.
Let's scoot up just a little bit.
Up front of the New World Order, it's Alex Jones.
Oh shit! Book of her mama.
Yeah. Next time on the Intelligence Network. We want to hit last, he said. InfoWars, people are pissed about it being shut down. How dare you? Give us your take on that. Yeah, it's just the entire thing. The entire thing with the lawsuit and everything was just clearly an effort to completely destroy you because you've been right about too many things for too long. Right? And there's been some times, okay, maybe presented it wasn't exactly the way it turned out to be, but it was pretty damn close and it was information didn't have before. Right? There's so many times absolutely vindicated and everyone's conspiracy theorists, blah 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 blah. But as we've learned, especially over the last 10 years, the difference between conspiracy theory and truth is about 6 months. Right? And that is why you came after so hard. Because what was it? It was the biggest ever sale like against a solo individual in American history. Yeah, big pharma companies that kill tens of thousands of people pay less settlements. Yeah, the Boston still paid like a few $100,000 or something like that. How much did what was the company that completely annihilated the Gulf of Mexico? Oh, sorry, the Gulf of Trump or Gulf of America or whatever it's called now. They like a couple $100 million. Completely annihilated.
Trump Gulf. Trump Gulf.
Yeah, exactly. But for some reason, and it's just the annihilate. That's what it is, and it's basically again, it's the system.
It's like, let's just cut to the chase. The Trump Gulf. Have you been to Trump Gulf? Have you been to Gulf Trump? There you go. Gulf Trump. Have you been to Trump's Gulf? Dang! Straight up, he just owns it. He owns the whole Gulf. Have you been to Trump's Gulf? Let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot. Got a lot of love between us. Hang on.
Republicans did last night and were not, then we're actually going to pick up more seats in the House and more in the Senate. Now, that flies in what Harry Enton at CNN is saying, that the likelihood that Trump loses the House is almost assured. And now it looks like he could even lose the Senate. So I'm hoping what James Blair just shared there actually comes true, because we definitely don't want to lose that, or they will impeach Trump and he will be out. All right, now, Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, he gave a long, bloated speech. I just want to show you part of it. Simply threatened Republicans and said, if any other states, including Florida, do this, then Democrats are about to unleash hell on the Republican Party. Listen to what Hakeem Jeffries shared. Same situation as Texas circumstances of Texas Republicans taking up 5 seats. While the Republicans their way into the race in December for the first time in almost 30 years by 20 points. That's 75% Latino, including Cuban Americans and Venezuelan Americans, amongst the more conservative members of the out. I'm up for I'm sleep. Giving the best price on the 60 serving. If you subscribe, for the wrong decision. That's um,
That was already getting close. Can I use that? Those two were good enough, damn. Alright, well, thanks anyway.